So, shadow work journal. Let's get into it. First, I cannot be happier that so many people, especially Black people, are making the investment in a resource to take care of their emotional and mental health. The investment of their money to buy it, as well as the investment of their time to do the inner work necessary that this resource provides, especially through the exercises. And second, I am ecstatic that a resource like this that helps people dig into the places that we normally would run away from. Some people are saying that they feel attacked when they first start reading the book. So I am so ecstatic that such a resource is accessible in a place like a TikTok shop. Third, shadow work is not demonic at all. I'm an ordained pastor. I'm telling you, shadow work is not demonic. To get into all of that would be another video, another conversation. And I'm referring to my notes as I go through this. So, number 4, from Kirk Franklin's story released last week, we witnessed as we watched it, that work like this is really tender, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a very good reason why our brains repress memories. It's to protect us. And so therefore, when we go through work like this, shadow work, triggering work of any kind, it really is best that it's supported by a licensed therapist, at least a support group that is facilitated by a licensed therapist. And the publisher of the book reads the beginning introductory pages and talks about how that's encouraged by the book, to have a licensed mental health professional work with you on this. Something like that is how they read it. But I must admit that I am troubled by the fact that there doesn't seem to be any kind of author listed for the book. And the way that it reads and the way that it's laid out makes me wonder if it's AI generated, which is the publisher's right at this point, at least in our journey with AI. It's their right to publish something that's AI generated. But I would feel a lot better if it was a little bit more transparent. And I have not bought the book. I have not read it. So there may be a disclaimer in there somewhere that reads that this is AI generated, but so far from what I've seen, it doesn't say that it is. And so that's a bit problematic for me. So let's go back and talk about number 4. Number 5 was my problem with the authorship of the book. So let's go back to number 4 for a bit. Our brain does its job really well to protect us from shit that's really, really hard. Stuff that really, really is just it's just too much. And so it protects us from that. But the thing is that at some point, the hard thing needs to be dealt with. Our cup, our emotional cup gets full. And so every so often it needs to be cleared out. And that's what we call a trigger. It's like a tapping on our shoulder that says, hey, there's something that happened a bit ago that was really, really hard, but you're stronger now and you can take care of it. So let's do that. And then the problem becomes when we ignore it and we have too much stuff in our cup. And then that's when we can tend to be really angry. I've seen some TikToks where people were talking about how working through this journal helps them understand why they get angry and so on and so forth. And so, and there are other behaviors that can come when that cup gets too full. And so it is good. Again, I'm so happy that so many people are diving in and working through these issues so to get to the root of the matter. That's one of the things that I always talk about, is getting to the root of what's causing whatever it is we're concerned about, whatever behavior it is. I just am concerned that we're going into some really tender places, some dark places, some deep places, without the support of a professional who can help walk with us best through this journey. So other than the fact this is my first time of doing clips with TikTok and I'm not pressing the button all that directly when I'm going between my clips. But the next thing, number 6, is that we need to continue this process. I'm on here, I suppose, I'm asking for people to continue this process with an educated, trained, qualified, licensed person to help you with your steps on your journey. Take the triggers from watching Kirk Franklin's story, take the triggers from completing the shadow work journal, and go to a licensed therapist that you resonate with, that can walk with you during this time and help you hold, depending on their practice, how they do it, but help you hold the emotions that are coming up. One person said that they feel like they need to go to a psychologist now. That's good. To help work through things, help sort it out, help get to a place where everything makes sense and you're moving forward in your life. So visit the link in my bio in order to get some places where you can go if you haven't looked it up already, some places you can go so that you can get a therapist. Ever since the pandemic, many people are now offering their services online. So you can have your choice if you want. I mean, you may prefer to meet with someone in person, but you can have your choice of the best therapists across the country as long as they are accepting clients. And as far as cost is concerned, a lot of people are making their services accessible by providing a sliding scale. If you have insurance, a lot of times insurance now will provide behavioral help. Sometimes that's what they call it, behavioral support, health support. With a zero copay, depending on what your plan, what kind of plan you have. And I understand, I think that Medicare, Medicaid sometimes, and I get those two confused, they provide some resources as well. Things have gotten better as far as accessibility, so that's a really good thing. So the list that you'll find when you go to my link in my bio, the list will be a mix of resources that it'll take you to another resource that will give you a list. So it'll be a mix of resources that I personally recommend, as well as lists that come from sources that I trust. So you'll read through that and you'll see how I divide that up. So all the best to everyone as you are digging in and doing the hard work. It's really commendable, and I'm really glad because so many of us run from those things because it is hard, it is difficult, and so it's really a good thing that you're doing that. It helps contribute to our world. After it helps your life, it helps your family, your friends, and your community. It helps our larger world when more of us show up in healthy spaces. So keep doing the work. Get someone to walk with you and be well.